Here now, Dr. Ben Carson is with us. Your initial reaction first as a medical doctor to these reports we've been reporting on, and we have our investigative report from the border tonight, the perilous journey of these unaccompanied minors, the violence that often takes place, the rape that has taken place. Now it's taken place, as Governor Abbott has described. They've tried to keep his Child Protective Services from seeing these kids. Now that they're seeing them, now they're reporting these atrocities are happening. Your reaction as a medical doctor, sir?
Well, having spent almost my entire professional career dealing with children and the issues of children, obviously it breaks my heart to see these children being treated this way. And I don't know that anybody really cares that much. You know, they're being used as pawns like so many of us are being used in this effort to divide this country. You know, I think it's going at a very macro level. You have to remember about 60 years ago, Nikita Khrushchev said, your children's children will live under communism and we won't have to fire a shot. You know, what was he talking about? He was talking about could justify massive taxation, redistribution of wealth, and complete control by the government. We need to wake up. We need to go back and read some of the stuff that was going on decades ago when people were predicting what was going to happen, and we need to thwart it. And the best way to thwart it is to recognize that this is the United States of America.
Well, let me ask you
and we have to recognize those who are trying to divide us.
We have states like Delaware, New York, and Colorado that have far more restrictive voting laws than the new law in Georgia. But that didn't stop Joe Biden from now numerous times referring to it as Jim Crow 2.0. What is your reaction?
Well, I wonder that does he know what Jim Crow is? Has he really
know what day of the week it is, Doctor? Let's be honest.
Has he read about the lives of people who had to suffer under that system, not only of extreme segregation, but unfairness, incredible violence that was going on? This is nothing like that. And these laws in Georgia apply to everyone. They don't specifically apply to one group of people. And I find it quite offensive for people to assume that black people cannot get a voter ID, cannot get any kind of official ID. I don't know any black people like that. I don't know where they're finding these people. But the fact of the matter is, you know, black people are just like anybody else. And tremendous progress has been made. And all of a sudden they're becoming victims because the media and politicians find it to their advantage to create those chasms.
Chode never changed the laws in Delaware. Far more restrictive than Georgia. It's outrageous what he's done here. Dr. Carson, great to see you again. Thank you. Two parts. What do you miss the most about being in the White House? And how seriously are you considering running again in 2024?
I miss the most helping people because I can directly help people. That's why I did it. Look, this has been a very traumatic. I had a great life, great company, great business, no problems. And now all I do is people go after you. It's vicious, it's horrible. But you know what? I love doing it because I help people. And I've helped them more than any president with the cutting of taxes, with the regulations, with right to try.
You're proud
you know
of
how
all
big right to try is?
Huge.
Where you don't have to travel to all sorts of different continents to try and get something. We have the greatest doctors and the greatest labs. We can use their medicines now. If somebody's terminally ill, they can sign a quick little document. You can use and that's had a huge thing.
What are you most proud of, though?
A lot of things. I'm very proud of the tax cuts. I hope they don't screw it up because the jobs, you know, we brought back a record. I think so. We brought back a record. Well, it's still not going to be as high as it was. You know, it was really 39%.
Right.
So it looks like it could be at 25%. I brought it down to 21. But I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of and very importantly, the regulation cuts. I'm very proud of what I did for the military. I've rebuilt the military, and I've added something called Space Force. It's going to be so powerful, so important. So I've added another, think of it, I've added to the military. It hasn't happened since, I guess, 75 years, since the...
Sean Hannity, as you watched in that video, asked him, how serious are you for running again in 2024? And now Trump mentioning a whole list that what he'd done in the past 4 years and what he has accomplished. about the taxes, trade deals, and immigrations, and they're talking about a lot more things. So I would like to know what is your opinion. I know there's so many conservative out there, and also I appreciate those who follow Vision TV. And there is so much going on right now, and you don't hear much from Biden in the media. You don't, because I did not had any statement or anything was came up, or maybe I'm away from the news anymore, the news, and not watching it because it's not interesting. What is happening? It's going downhill. So right now it's good to see, Trump looking good, and he sharing his views and his point about what he might do, and how he might run things, and what his perspective is. And he also talked about in the previous video you can watch on Fox News that how he's planning to support Republicans. He talks about that the maintained places like Texas and Florida's economy is booming, and Texas is growing. So he said, I think those are Republican, mostly Republican, just to be sarcastic. So you see that he brings a different perspective about politics and all these things. So what we can do is to pray, and pray for the good of this country.